Hello and welcome to another update video on ADA. So the ADA chart here on the daily time frame is not really showing much movement. Yeah, price action is pretty uneventful, I would say, and all year we've only been moving sideways, as you can probably see here. It's pretty slow price action everywhere. Yep, it was still volatile, but basically everything happened in this range between this lower support line around 51 cents that we talked about all year and the upper trend line there in yellow, which is currently coming in around 94.5 cents. This trend line where we have reactions in December, reactions in March, reactions in August, reactions in September. This trend line has been with us all year, and the price has reacted several times to this trend line, and then I've added this even steeper trend line, and we're also below that at the moment. So we need really, at the very least, a break above these trend lines. The lower one comes in around 83 cents at the moment. But don't get me wrong, there are other resistance levels that matter on the micro level that we're going to take a look at. For now, I mean, the chart still looks like, we have a three-wave move down into the 10th of October lows. The chances for higher prices are still there. Probabilities are still there. It's not that I have a cleanest setup here, but I am tracking a 1-2 setup, which is the Elliott wave language for a bullish structure, a bullish setup. I can do that because the pullback so far looks corrective from the last high that occurred last week, and we're holding above Fibonacci support. I have to say, the data in this move to the upside after the crash obviously is kind of unclear. There is not really any clear microstructure. You know that, right? We talked about that. So we have to be still on the side of caution. Across the sector, we haven't seen major movements yet. Most interesting ones, probably still Tau, that we discussed in the weekly member live stream. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, everything else is kind of muted and unclear, I would say. Okay, there are some exceptions. But I just want to make sure it's clear that this is all pretty... the market appears frozen, right? Especially on the larger time frame. Now, if we take a look at the shorter time frame here, you see that this is, as I said, frozen. We obviously there was a crash, yeah, and then the recovery, but the recovery then ended on Monday last week, and then we've only seen sideways action since then, so it could even turn into a triangle. For now, what I'm tracking this as an A wave down, then potentially a B wave up. It looks choppy to me, it looks messy. Maybe in the blue scenario, it's a 1-2 setup, but that's super speculative. So basically what I want to highlight here, look, we have a support area between 47.3 cents and 59.3 cents. So as long as we're holding that, the bullish case has a chance. In the very short term, we could even avoid another low below the 17th of October low if we can hold 60.9 cents, because that is support for a micro 1-2 setup. But don't think this 1-2 setup is necessarily high quality. It would be something like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have it as a speculative count just because we need a bullish alternative in case we break out to the upside above resistance at the 88.7 retracement at 71.8 cents. We might follow the blue count. I don't see a really convincing setup here at this point. But obviously, I tell you also about the bullish support levels, right? So we're holding that. And one reason why I've added this support area earlier today in the member update already, is because the pullback looks corrective. So we have a 3-wave move down, right? We had a reaction to resistance, but also not a 5-wave move down. So no evidence as such that the C-wave down has started already. It's possible, but it's a 3-wave move. And that leaves us without confirmation that the B wave has topped. Therefore, even in the B wave, we might get another high if this whole thing develops as a WXY structure. And depends really on whether we break above resistance or not, whether we give the white or the blue count, let's say, the lead. Yeah, that's the update on ADA. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, also make sure to follow us on our MCO Global channel. Some of you might not even know it exists. I'll leave a link for you guys in the comment section. At the moment, it's very much focused on Bitcoin, but when I see opportunities also in other markets, I point them out often here, like I did for uranium earlier in the year, for gold and silver in March, I think it was, where I pointed that out. So check it out if you're interested. I'll leave a link for you guys in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.